Welcome to the Intuition Hour with Katt Nicholson, where our wonderful host Katt encourages each and every one of you to build your own intuition, navigate your own connection with spirit, and tap into the deep beauty within yourself. Enjoy the Intuition Hour with Katt Nicholson.
Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome. Happy Monday. Today is May 4th, 2026. I'm super excited to be with all of you. And gosh, Serena and I were chatting it up. We're a couple minutes late today. We're sharing some tattoo talk and things like that, and just kind of getting lost. And you could tell by the background of what she shared today. She definitely pinned my mood. I feel colorful and joyful to be with all of you. And I'm also looking at all of your words and your questions already. I know we have a lot of work to do this morning. I am super grateful. Of course, I came in, and this is such life, guys. Like, first of all, I do want to say, I said it's May 4th. So I know everybody's out there saying, May the 4th be with you and all of these things. I do live on the Space Coast, so it is a little crazy here. And I will say that life, I came to news this morning here of birth or to be birth. Katt, congratulations. I was teasing you when I answered you, but I said, well, do we know what causes this yet? Yes, we do. Hello. Good morning. I'm teasing, but I'm always happy for baby news, as you know. And I also came to the sad news of Laura's family. Her brother has taken his life, and also questions, how many questions loom, over that topic as well. And at the same time, we basically learn, unfortunately, when we have these extreme ups and downs in our emotional lives and in our daily lives and things like this. And our spiritual lives are so very important because we don't have control over life. We don't have control over death. We don't have, the only control we have, I guess, is to strengthen our connection to spirit and whatever our higher power is, whether that's God for you, whether that's the universe for you, whether that's Buddha for you, whether that's Muhammad, Allah, whoever you believe is your higher power, or maybe it's just the entire universe as one God, whatever that means. It is so significant in these times to build that connection. And it's interesting because I was thinking about many, many things this week, because it always seems that when there's sadness, joy follows. When there's joy, sometimes sadness follows. It's never like, and we're never really human on an even keel on the external part of our world, but on the internal part, we learn how to build a more peaceful center. And I do believe in time, this is what, through our relationships, through our learnings and our teachings and everything else out there, we definitely, it's so weird because I had butterflies in my head. Laura just said her brother Steve did visit her as a butterfly. It was so clear and comforting. And that's interesting because I do have some photos of a gorgeous one myself today. And I also have my raccoons out back. If anybody by now can guess the number of them that I have, that would be fun. But in any case, I was talking to Serena about it, and the butterfly, of course, I read your note immediately after, so that makes a lot of sense. At the same time, when we have all of these exciting times, of course, Uranus and Gemini has given me a boost. I have two major the Sun and Mars. It started with 3, Shelley. Keep going, guys. You're doing good. In any case, we're getting there. You know, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so what I was saying, I'm getting thrown off by my raccoons because they give me so much joy. And so it's kind of funny, but I'm always like looking out, going, is I'm wondering if anybody's going to come and say, hey, enough is enough with this family you're building. But in any case, we are. And you guys keep it going. So honestly, with everything going on in life, we have such emotion within ourselves. We're so much water. Randy, you got it. 12 it is, guys. That's my number. So, you know, that's always my number, by the way. In any case, we are so much water in our physicality, right? And in our being, because emotionally we have to align everything else in ourselves with our emotions or vice versa. And so you're all like sponges and we're all, I say you, but we are all sponges in the world. And so sometimes we can definitely think about what we're absorbing around us and how we're soaking it in, how we're absorbing like sponges in the world, how we're taking it on, what are we taking on, and what are we being um, filled by to the point of, okay, now we are sponges full of water, full of emotion, full of everything that we're absorbing in our day-to-day life or lives. And we have to think about what color are we extracting once we're filled or full to the maximum of everything we're absorbing. How are we releasing what we're taking on, and how do we clean that up? And so we tend to release we're at full capacity, we release all these emotions. What color are those emotions in some ways? You know what I mean? Like, how do we really release what's happening in a way that cleans up what we're releasing? And so we keep deciding to put boundaries in the world, to get rid of and distance people. Maureen, I'm saying hi to you. Good morning to everyone. Jim, Randy, Lara, Beth, good morning to you. Gail, hello. Catherine, all of you. Pamela, Lois, hi. Mary, how are you cleaning out that your so-called being as a sponge? And how are you releasing until that part of you is clean or feels like really ready to take on something else? And so a lot of this has to do with, as an analogy, as a metaphor, what are you letting go of to bring better to your world or your universe? Sometimes we can't help that the water gets a little dirty. Sometimes we can't help that the water is a different color. Sometimes it may, have a little different scent to it. Sometimes it's really about picking and choosing who or what we want in our lives. And often it's about, when we get to full capacity, how do we take care of ourselves so that we do clean that up? How do we take care of ourselves that we're kind of, we could be washed out, rinsed out, cleaned out, whatever it may be, squoze out. When we get under pressure, we feel the squeeze. When we release the pressure, we let go of that and we become full, we become light, we become airy. Sometimes we become more of ourselves in a whole way. And so I was thinking about it today. I definitely feel we have to keep boundaries. I think we're coming into a lot more ahead. Laura, everyone is sending love to you in the room. Thank you guys so much for support. And honestly, in life, we face these amazing experiences of joy, and we face these amazing experiences of loss. And so I do believe that Um, I have some surprising news for you guys coming up ahead, which I'll share soon. But you all know I went through a little bit. I lost Lou, who was a huge loss to me. But then I've had some time now to process it out, and soon we'll have news of bigger, better, broadening family life. Um, and I feel that for all of you, no matter how much time you take to grieve, Laura, this is for you now. Sometimes we don't know our number. Sometimes we don't know how sensitive we are. And this is a tough topic because she says, I'm driving, so can't reply individually, but she loves you all and she appreciates your support. And Laura, yeah, and Beth says she hopes the angels comfort you. The thing is this, we we know we don't control our lives. We know we do not have that timing, but we also don't understand when someone does decide that it's time or whatever it may be. And honestly, in my what I want to believe or what I want to feel is that it's still in God's time at the end of the day. We don't know what Steve would have to suffer. You guys know I look at the glass half full. I hope I bring that to you every single week and every day that we connect, because we don't have to, shove things under the carpet or forget that these losses, happen. But we do have to trust and believe and have faith in a bigger reason, a better reason. These kinds of statements are so shallow when it comes to loss, but it's so true that we have to hold on to our faith, because without that, we really have no hope. And without that, who knows what could happen. I really believe sometimes when these things happen that it's meant to prevent a worse suffering, an unsustainable, horrible life, or whatever it may be. So we have to hang on to the reason that it was God's time. You know what I mean? And I do believe that. And I feel I see joy for Steve in a different way now, and freedom, and that there's no part of this world for certain people who are so very sensitive, who it's like why I'm sure they ask themselves why, or whatever the case may be. In his case, I do believe that some people are just too sensitive in their time. They weren't meant to be here forever and ever, and I have nothing that I can say that makes it better in the moment, but we know that everyone's heart is with you. We adore you. You are such a special human. And I know your brother knows that. I know everyone knows that. So I just want to shout out and say thanks for being here and being with us every week. And we're here for you. And I know that's a hard one. Okay. So now this is even more difficult, because now we come into the other side of our lives, and it's positive and happy and joyful and necessary, because there is always that new life. And so, Katt, I want to say congratulations. I hope you're still here listening. And good morning, everyone coming in. I feel very confident that you are. Now, I know we have a joke. It's a 50-50 shot, Can we all, you want to play a little game and guess? Do you know? So you just found out, and I kind of already know what it is, but I don't want to spill the beans. So does anybody want to have a guess on Katt's new baby? You know, I'm always feeling those babies. I started picking on Serena today too. So we know that it's kind of in the air. Spring has sprung. There's new life everywhere. Now, let me take a peek. I may have to hide my phone because my mother is ringing me off the hook. And she forgets every single week for many, many years that we are together at this time. All right. Let me take a look. Kat, are you still here? Maybe she's not here. Does anybody have a 50-50 shot at it? Pink or blue? Does anybody want to play? Oh, have I said this? Okay, she's 5 weeks. We have some time. I obviously said it was a boy. That's good. Thank you, Randy, for backing me up. I still feel it, but I forget telling you that. I don't know. Sometimes I've been saying things lately. We have a little bit more blue than pink, but I will tell you guys, when it comes to the 50-50 thing, if it was 1 in 1 million, I would probably be better at it than 50-50. I have no idea why spirit works that way for me, but it does. So you guys will be right than myself, okay? I'm teasing, but not really. Life and death. It's a very unpredictable thing. First thought was a boy. I got mixed too because she has don't you have a little girl now? I didn't get mixed. I obviously told her it was a boy my first hit. But I think I told her that when she had a girl or something like this. But we have a lot of babies here, so more than you guys know. All right, now who else wants to play? All right, now I'm going to come back and start taking your questions. We've had enough baby talk today, enough life and death talk for sure. But it is part of life that I don't want to ignore, and I want to acknowledge you guys and comfort you always. Jamie Faith is in the room today. Good morning, my soul sister back. Jamie is a 1-2 Listen psychic advisor, and Terry Campbell is also in the room today. Terry, you as well. Terry's a 1-2 Listen psychic astrologer. It's so nice to have both of you with us. I will say this. Jamie was initially, gosh, girl, it's like 18 years ago. Jamie was one of my testers to come on to 1-2 Listen. And I will say this, she was not an easy read, but she was very, very kind. And I'll never forget. Jamie, thank you. She backed me up with blue. I love that. I think we're going to lean that way so far, but let's see. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look from the top, and I'm going to come in. You see how Katt says, Katt, it happened. You sometimes I have to say it's not my fault, you know. I'm teasing. I'm super excited for you. Okay. Now let's see. Ita, good morning from Italy as well. And Catherine, you too. All right. Let me see who's first. I do believe you'll get your the saga of my repairs, Shelley says. I'm glad that you hired an attorney. I definitely feel like they have no choice but to give you the extension because I do believe you're going to get that. Let me just see something here. Guys, I'm doing a little writing today because I feel called to get answers this way on paper, and sometimes that happens. I do believe this place is going to get finished, but you're not going to love me for saying when. Look, we'll have a very, very different conversation 4 to 6 months from now. That's how I feel. But at that point, you know, I feel the value increasing for some reason. It's about the value and protecting you from moving too fast, but I do believe you'll get your extension on that, because I have a really long arrow, actually. Um, yeah, I like that. I feel like there could be another suit, though. Um, is it a multiple? Remind me. I feel a few different things. Is that what you hired the lawyer for? Because that's what I'm thinking. Okay. Shell, it's going to happen. You'll complete everything, I promise. They'll have to pay out their wazoo, but it's definitely going to happen, okay? I agree 4 to 6 months is right. There may be an issue or two, but you're going to get it done. I feel good about it. I'm not, look, it's not an easy situation. I know that, but you will definitely do it. Good morning, Ms. Lynn, with your brilliant, sparkling light there. So nice that you're here. Jamie, yes, almost 2 decades. I can't believe it. Shelly, you're welcome. Katt does have a girl. That's good. Yeah, I really don't remember when I channel, and sometimes it gets me in a little bit of trouble. But in any case, in the best ways, I'm glad. So hopefully you'll let us know soon. I feel like you're going to have another one too. So it's a little premature for me to say this, but you'll get there. We'll get there. You got a little ways to go. So I'm always a little cautious early pregnancy, as you know. All right, let me see who's next. Mary, I feel a special Mother's Day coming for you, and happy Mother's Day to all of you moms and moms of the world, moms of your children, moms of your nieces and nephews. Every one of you takes care of someone or something. We all have that maternal aspect of ourselves. Jim, you do as well. And I mean that in no way to take none of your masculinity away, but I'm saying that because I know you nurture those kids like crazy, and I know you're an amazing dad, and you have that aspect of you that every man should have, of caring for your children the way you do. I really truly admire, and our fur babies for sure. My my human kids, my human adult children think that I'm better to my dogs than to them, but of course they're kidding, but it may be true, as you all know. All right, let's take a peek here. But Mary, I feel a special Mother's Day for you. Some are old and some are young, and I say that I don't mean that in old age, of course, but I mean, there's maybe an elderly energy and then a youthful energy. And I feel a lot of you're surrounded by females. And I do love that for you. Okay. I feel that very strongly. All right. Let me take a look here. Pamela, I do see your question. It's jumping at me like crazy. Maureen, I love the dinosaurs. My little dinosaur is getting a lot of hype in town, by the way. Everyone wants it. So I will never, ever let it go, but I've had some serious offers. You wouldn't even believe it. So it's great to see you here today. Who did I just say, guys? Oh, Pamela. Is there any way we can have 2 first names? That would really help. I love that, Mary. She said she's going to be surrounded by 5 daughters and a bonus daughter. Just a bit of female. I feel that, but I also feel some wisdom in that room too. Okay, John. So you have a feeling and you can't shake it. Do you know if they go out? Like, I feel like, do you feel like anyone is, how long have they been together, Pam? I kind of feel like somebody's doing something that's not so great, but at the same time, it can change. Like, I'm not feeling they're going to end. That's like jumping the gun. I really truly believe that, but I do feel like there are a couple decisions or choices that they're both making that aren't great right now, and that's what you're probably picking up on. I'll take a peek, okay? And a bigger peek. She says 20 years. About. Whatever it is, I'm seriously telling you, they're going to overcome this. I feel like one of them could be a little under the weather. I think it's Harmony, or I don't think, I'm just going to say that it's Harmony. I really feel like there's some things coming into the picture around her physical health and maybe choices and things like that. She's going to be tightening some things up, and they may be hiding it a little bit for you not to worry. I do see improvement about this. I feel okay about it overall. I think that's what you're picking up. Sometimes our kids just don't tell us things for until it's over or after the fact, or I believe that's what you're picking up on. I will say this, and I don't believe it's John, I believe it's her, but maybe some decisions are going to be made about their lifestyle and also like really upgrading. Yeah, hiding it. Well, that's because you pick up on it. I'm not worried about it. I mean, don't worry. Try not to. I know it's easier said than done. Um, um, I do think this. I feel confident that it's going to be okay. So I just let it be for now. I do see you worrying. You're probably not going to find out until what are their ages, Pamela? I do think there's some hiding going on because they're even trying to like, I have to pull some, it's almost like pull some curtains off. She said they try to protect her. I could tell that. They're hidden pretty well. I feel that. That's okay though. They're going to be okay. Whatever it is, there's a lot of forgiveness. There's a lot of togetherness. They have strength. Yeah. And I do believe they've gone through a little bit of disappointment on and off, but they work it out. And I'm going to say they're going to work it out again. They're hiding something, aren't they? Are you going to see them on Mother's Day or thereabouts? Do you see them? I feel something about, well, they're showing me the word mother. And I feel something about this. Let's say, okay? I believe there's some surprises too. So I'm not too I don't want you to over worry because I really think it's gonna be okay. I have good outcomes on everything. All right, and you come back and let us know. I think you're gonna know more soon. They'll spill the beans. Of course, probably when the worry's over, but that's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna come back to the top a bit. Now, I had a couple of questions and I want to make sure all right, I got Shelly. I have to find a couple of people. Beth, I feel like I have fuzz floating all over. So, all right, hold on now. Does I feel like you're good with people. And at the same time, she said she has many interests, not sure what vocation would best fit into. Do you ever do any online like studies or anything like that, or take a little course or like a certificate or anything like that? It's very interesting. I feel like something's going to come to you, um, and you're going to know what to do. I feel leadership, leadership. I interestingly enough also feel like have you tried for anything in HR, like that's ringing a bell? Um but also I see like you taking a couple upgraded classes, like just tiny ones, a couple of days or um a couple of hours even, like a certification, kind of thing, or they may put you through the position. Can you tell me a couple places that you tried to apply for? I see you leadership. I feel also a man or a mentor or a leader or like it looks like corporate, but I also am getting a lot of vibes. Let me just take a look at the cards too because I feel um hold on a minute. I feel like you're really going to land in something that is meant to be, and you're not, it's almost like a tripping over it. But I don't want anybody to take advantage of you either because you have so many skills. All right, hold on. I could tell my little fuzzy microphone's giving me some fuzz today. I could tell. It's driving me nuts. All right, let's take a look. It's something that you've also been connected to in your past. So I feel something about that as well. Seriously, somewhere you're comfortable with. Was there anything that you've gone through that you had a feeling about in the past? Because that's what I get more than anything else. Yes, no. All right. So I think we may have lost her, but in any case, whatever, it's like a childhood knowing or something like this. So you let me know, and hopefully you'll hear this, and then we'll go from there, okay? Okay, honey. Thank you for being here. All right, let me see who's next. So funny. All right. Who? Somebody just asked me a very important question. I'm coming back to you guys. Gail, where are you? She says, I did a face plant on my hard floors and broke my patella. Ugh. I feel like a black cloud. I don't want to believe it. And I really try to be positive, one thing after another, since I moved here. Gail, remind me of your birthday, please. I think it's okay. Let me just come back to Beth real quick, and then we're going to talk to you, Gail. Okay, this is all good, Beth. I want to say this. I do feel like they're going to send you, you're going to have a little training, okay? But it's going to be something you thought of, or like something very comfortable, something you really align with. And I also want to know, do you write ever? Because there's something about journaling coming out that I'm getting too. Okay. She loves did you go for the hospital HR and customer service? Because that's what I had said earlier about the hospital HR. Or I said both, separately, of course. I thought you were good with the people and you love the animals. Did you try for something like that? That's comforting. That's from childhood. That's comfortable. I like that. Any of those things, but I do believe the medical, the HR is really a good place for you and secure. And actually, believe it or not, even though it's challenging, it's a challenge that you can really, really rise to and also become very successful at. Customer service, yes, but not forever, but something very, very good. So I love that. Okay, now you're getting mixed vibes. Yeah, I think so. But I believe it's coming to you before you even, you're gonna know exactly what to do. You're not gonna have any doubts. Um, I just feel confident that you would be good in that, like, admin, but leadership, and very, very good. I feel good about that, okay? So you come back and tell us what happens. Okay, let me see, who is next. But I feel like we're on track with that stuff. I'm I like the animals. I love that for you, but I don't believe the money is as strong if and if that's something you, of course, to me, it's less stable for some reason in the now, but that doesn't mean you can't do it later. I'm really open to either. I just feel like income-wise, it might be better. Jamie, I think recruiting is good also, but right now it's been a little bit, I'm up and down about it. Like, I feel more steady, like the whole stable income, salaried position, leadership role, management or HR, like leadership. Yeah, I like the medical too. Yeah, better in medical. You're right. I just feel like her past consisted of the animals. Just keep going towards it, Beth. I think something's going to happen and it will definitely show up. No doubt. You're definitely you're on track. I know this is crazy, but I am seeing like children's books with animals or animal books for children. I don't know why this is standing out so strong, but I want to use it as some kind of. She said she loves to be created. Tell me what was rejected. Can you explain that? I feel like you can't be too physical. Okay, that's okay. I don't know why. I do see I don't know why this book, this it's like a symbol of something. It could be on a table somewhere you are, or somewhere you work, or you see the sign or something like this, okay? I love I love that. And I love that you're creative. And I like writing too. But I definitely feel she said she can't be too physical anymore. I believe that. I think admin is better for now because it's a little bit more challenging. And Thursday, she's going to a job fair. Okay, that's great. Wonderful. All right, I love that. Okay, now I definitely feel by the 17th of the month, though. I don't know when that is, right around that week. Um, something's gonna come. It's not gonna take you a long time to do this, so I like it. And I definitely feel like you could be a little selective as well, but I feel like something's gonna happen that's gonna throw you into something, okay? Much, much better in the 3rd week of the month and more clear, all of it. Okay, sweetie. All right, thanks for being here. All right, now, let me see who's next. I'm gonna come back to the top. Gail, I have to come to you now. Okay, here we go. I know I think you made some difficult decisions moving forward, but I know you did the right thing getting away from where you were. Sometimes we go through a period of challenge or difficulty to get to the other side of where we're meant to be, especially after we lose and let go of relationships that no longer served a purpose in our lives. That to me was a black cloud, you know what I'm saying? And I don't and also, is this the second time something happened to you here in in this way? Because I can almost feel like you're going through or coming to the other side of a, corner or something. Like, I literally see you over a counter. I don't know if that makes sense, but I kinda see you turning a corner around a counter or something like this. Um, if you're still here, can you tell me if any of this makes sense yet? Like, you coming around the corner? I just feel like something is trying to slow you down, but I don't wanna say she said 4 different things. This is the first physical thing? Okay, this is good. Thank God for that. So she had water damage. Yeah, I feel a corner or something, turning a corner. So we're just gonna look at it like that, like a metaphor. Um, have you seen the doctor for what happened? Obviously, you went to the hospital, but are you following up with a physician? Because I feel like this is, like, paramount that this happens. That yes, seeing the doctor. Okay. I got you. Everything else is under control over there, right? I have the King of Pentacles. I just feel like something was obviously when we go through these horrible things, sometimes they're just horrible. Um, Something is always trying to slow us down for sometimes for no reason, sometimes for great reason, you know? And I'm yeah, tell me about this. This is what I feel. She said she's having trouble seeing the orthopedic. Why is this happening? Because I feel like this is paramount that it happens, and then this will be a very positive movement in the whole scenario. Like, it will help you tremendously. So that has to happen next. Um, I feel this strongly. And I also believe that you're gonna be can you tell me why it's been such a challenge? Because this is, like, what has to happen, and I see this, and I do feel like you're gonna find someone, like, it's almost like an 11th hour thing, but they put you off, and then I feel like everything's gonna be perfect around this whole situation. You're gonna heal. Doctor wasn't honest about having to have a referral and having to come to his office, but wrote a bad review, and he gave me okay, he gave you the referral. Did you get the referral now? Because I feel like this is next, and it's gonna happen, okay? You're so welcome, Beth. You are gonna get the referral, and now you have to just make that appointment because it's gonna be the answer to your fix. Good. Okay, call. This will correct the situation, believe me when I tell you, okay? And then I feel like there's like a generous offer to help you in some way, and also seeing others, like, people are gonna all of a sudden start showing up in your space to wanna give to you, and I know this sounds crazy because I'm sure it's been the opposite. It feels like it hasn't been the way, but I do believe this, and I also believe more information's coming to give you strength. I also believe you're gonna heal wholeheartedly. Know you're gonna heal this thing. And I feel because it was challenging to leave your last situation and the way it happened is still like something in your mind. It's almost like, did I do the right thing? Because all of these other things happen. But in my mind, it's like a realignment and a reorganization of everything that's happened from a clear space and from a clean space in your new environment. If at that time you wanna say, "Oh, this was I have to get out of here," this, that, and the other thing, you may be doing this already because you've been there for a little bit of time now, so we can really start looking at it. But now from this place, we have to get you better and then make the decision to decide what you're gonna do. But I don't feel like you have a black cloud hanging over your head. I feel like you're going through some bumps. I think even your astrology doesn't even prove to I feel two little things that are going on that would cause some of this, but that's not even that. I don't even wanna I don't have a reason like a black cloud, and I would tell you wholeheartedly if I thought that. I think you have maybe told yourself because it was painful to experience this change to continue in this way, but you didn't do anything to cause the fall or anything else. I look at that like, oh, the universe is definitely encouraging slow down, I have to I have to believe it's that. In the meantime, though, I do feel you're going to heal, and then once you are healed, we can make a wise decision about what you do next. And I do think you're gonna get your appointment, and I would fuss to the not like, take it all the way and just fuss away about, and kill them with kindness, but you will get that appointment much faster, I feel, if you tell them you're in pain, you can't literally function, you have to definitely get seen, and you waited so long for this referral, da 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 da, da, and tell them what happened. And I think you'll meet a kind person who's going to, really help you get through. Okay. And then that'll start your healing process. And then we can make decisions on the rest of it. And I'm sending you lots of love and healing too. Lara is too. And you come back and tell us how you do, okay? And I hope that makes sense. Also, please come back and tell me what happens when you book your appointment and stuff, so we can follow you and make sure she's trying not to hold on to the past. I understand about the dog. She said her dog was her lifesaver. I know it's very, very, all of these things that we go through, again, it's a step at a time, it's a day at a time. It's just taking a breath, slowing down. Yeah, sometimes things do just happen, but you've gone through a lot, and it's okay to be mad, and it's okay to, or frustrated and upset. That's like normal life. So lots of love to you. I know you're going to heal completely, so I love that. And everybody, I'm sorry to say, Gail, please get in touch and let us know what happens with the doctor, the new doctor. I like that doctor. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so, so much for being here. Serena, thank you for being our producer. I have to run on you guys. Time to go. See you all next week. Bye-bye now.